Today is a special day for you, and can you, by way of introduction, tell our viewers who you are?
My name is Ebun Akpoveta. I'm the author of 2 books, Becoming Unforgettable, Uncovering the Essence of the Woman, and then my new book is titled Trap, Prison Without Walls. I run a women's organization called the Unforgettable Women's Network, and our work really is to advocate for the equal value of the female person in society.
Thank you very much. Can you further just tell our viewers more about the blog of your book? What Trap, Prison Without Walls? What does it talk about?
Well, basically, Prison Without Walls, Trap, Prison Without Walls actually looks at the life of, it captures the life of 2 migrants living in Dublin, and how Ola struggles with gender inequality, but that gender inequality begins to play out in her life in a very, very different way. It puts her in a position where she experiences domestic violence, and a lot of the financial challenges and also the responsibilities that are put on her keeps her, you know, in a very trapped situation. You know, and it captures a lot of the emotionality, a lot of the things that people don't talk about, especially as African women, you know. But the main thing about the book is that it's not just an African woman's book, because it looks at domestic violence, but as it happens to, you know, every woman.
Interesting. Should we say this is a feminist book, and why do you think everyone should have a copy?
Really, I would encourage men to read the book, because many times they ask us, you know, they ask women that, you know, what do you guys really want? If you read this book, you will understand what women really want. There is a character I created as well, you know, who later comes back in, and you will see the dynamics of the relationship between this new character, you know, the 2 characters in the book. It actually captures a lot of the things. And one of the main reasons why I think men actually should read it is because the inner thoughts in Ola's head that most times people don't hear about, people don't talk about, I actually voice those thoughts. You know, and it's so important that if you're married to somebody, you don't want to be married to somebody and they are carrying a wall of anger, a ball of bitterness. You see, for me, that is the main reason I wrote the book. I was hearing too much of anger and bitterness, and I'm saying, how can a family like this be successful when you hurt somebody to the point that they are actually bitter? That bitterness is making people sick. You see that, I mean, you would expect that with technology we should all be well, but there's so much sickness every day. While we are creating or generating so much toxins because of the bitterness that we're carrying, and we need to find a way to heal that.
Very interesting. And how many books have you written so far?
This will be my 2nd book. You know.
Do you have your first book?
I do have my 1st book.
And what's the name? Can you show it to our viewers?
This is my 1st book. It's titled Becoming Unforgettable, Uncovering the Essence of the Woman. You know. And
just in a nutshell, what is the essence of the woman?
Actually, it just shows the 12 qualities that can take a woman from, you know, an ordinary existence to an unforgettable existence. You know, being unforgettable is not just about the things that we do, but it's about who you are, the choices you make, the way you position yourself, you know, and the boundaries that we set for ourselves as well. So that's really what it's about, you know. And so 12 wonderful qualities, you know, that can move our lives from one level to the other.
So, congratulations on this day, and we look forward to more books from you.
Thank you
for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
And I'm also saying thank you to Ellen Omali Ganga, who is the CEO of the Dublin Rape Crisis Center. Thank you very much. I also have to say thank you to Dr. Eric for coming. He's stepped out. Tony Fagan is the director of Tala Community Arts. Is he here? Oh, he's gone. Right. Okay, and the lady identified herself as the Domestic Violence Service representative in Ireland. Thank you for coming. And really and truly, it's not just thank you to the people that I mentioned, it's also thank you for being here. And I really want to say thank you, especially, I was getting upset with Ebun because she almost took the shine out of me just there, saying thank you to Nobuhle Ncube. That I've worked with, actually, I do drama myself, and to see young children actually put up that act, they got that to a T. Where are the children? They are playing now. They're playing now. See, this is what children do. This is what children are supposed to do. They're never supposed to be engaged in things like this. But you see, everything that we exhibit, we learn. We were only born with two fears: the fear of heights and the fear of loud sounds. But these children now, they have shown what they have learned. Come and stand behind me, because when they become famous, I want to. This was Michael, and this was Alicia. Her name is Nobuhle Ncube. That's your name, isn't it? No, that's not your name. Oh, sorry, Faith. No, Faith. Sekome. Tell them. How old are you?
I'm 10 years
Oh,
old.
10 years old. What school do you attend?
St. John's National School
Where?
in the Church of Ireland.
Can you please? Oh, this was Michael. Michael, what's your name? Tobia Falabi, and how old are you?
10.
He's 10 too. And what's your name? You don't attend St. Joseph.
No, I'm St. Joseph.
St. Joseph. Boys' School. St. Joseph. So thank you very much. And you know it was just all acting, don't you? Thank you very much. And so I say thank you also to the lady who acted Ola, Penelope. Thank you. Pastor is Patrick Opio. Thank you, Patrick. And Ola's dad is Chineye Anemejo. Thank you. And Ola's mom was Patience Eze. Hello, thank you very much. The person who acted Deji is actually a personal friend. I know from the record that he's not violent. He's not here. He's not here now. He's gone back to work. He actually works in AIB. He works in AIB. He's the sweetest man that you could ever have met. He just has, he comes from a family background of actors. So he is a perfect actor. And he did a good job today. Thank you very much for that. So, Nobuhle Ncube is here, who is the wife of the artistic director of that play. And she is somebody who I've also known for a very long time. She likes to remain in the background. So I put her on the spot today. You know how they say behind every... Well, I'd like to say behind every man who's doing something good, there's always a woman who also helps him to be good. And that's her. Her name is Nobuhle. Thank you. And Winifred is such a lovely woman. Winifred Akinyemi, is she here? She's super. Well, I know that Ebun, my friend and sister from another mother, has given thanks to everybody else. If I've forgotten to mention, I have so many names. If I've forgotten to mention you, the people came from everywhere. I see people from the Dal, from County Louth, from Cork, from Galway, from Kildare, from Kilcock, and I came from Galway. I came from Galway, and you know, it's just so lovely to be in a place like this where you can actually support. We can actually support one another. So what I'm going to leave you with is this. There's a spot in the book that says, how did I get here? That I'm actually mad. Angry, mad. When you come to a point where you see emotions are flying and you can't really find answers, I would like you to take this book and use it as a tool, not just thinking that is a story of somebody who got beaten and then, you know, there's a victim and then she became a victor. That's usually the story. But the thing that you should take away from it is, how did she get from victim to victor? It's a long journey. It's a long process. I am an example of that story. And when she was writing, I said she really has to pay me for using my name in this book. Because Denise knows a little bit, if she can remember, but I have been, even America as well, His Excellency. I don't want to fight. You know, but what I'm really saying is, this is what led me to become an emotional health practitioner, because people don't talk about emotional pain. The stigma of it alone. Even in our community, I know that with the Irish, I know Irish people don't talk about, people think that Irish people don't talk about pain. They just do not. You don't even want your neighbors to know about it. That's the truth. So people are going through stuff they cannot share with the next person standing beside them. But let me tell you now, the only way out is to really talk about it. At some point I started forgetting things that were hurting me. That's one of the things that I was doing. You need to put it behind you. But use this book as a tool, as a resource for rape crisis, for the domestic violence centers, for different places. And if you really want one, I'm going to leave you with this, if you really want one as you come to a book launch, remember that, please take one right now. Thank you for coming. Ebun Akpoveta is the founder and president, I like that. Founder and president of the Unforgettable Women's Network in Ireland. And I'm tagging behind her to be the coordinator for Galway. So she is the author of Becoming Unforgettable, the essence of the woman. That's her first book. That's the one she says you can give to your children. This one is for you and for resources and for places. And if you get one today, I can almost guarantee she's looking for her pen so she can, how much is it? 15 euros.
And people can actually, like if you're buying for a group, you can buy 4 and get 5.
Okay, 5 for the price of 4. So she's going to sign it. And we can do the book signing here. I think there's food next door. And so we make our way out of this room. Thank you very much.
Today we're just launching the tract Prison Without Walls by Ebun Akpoveta. So can you just, by way of introduction, tell us and our viewers who you are and what you think about today's function?
Well, my name is James Alabi. I'm the Deputy Head of Mission, Embassy of Nigeria, Dublin, Ireland. I'm here to honor the invitation to the launch of this book. by Ebun Akpoveta, titled Trapped, Prison Without Walls. I was invited to be one of the special guests, and I believe you were here when I made my contribution. This book is a hard book, well written, hard because it dealt basically on the subject of domestic violence. But actually, there are other fundamental issues contained in this book. So it does not just deal with domestic violence, but it comes out like a satire that deals with the society and deals with you and I, what our experiences are in this society. Whether experiences by way of challenges to a migrant in Europe, or by way of the level or type of loneliness that migrants go through in a foreign land. And of course, as we learned from the character in this book, the central character, Ola, who was actually terrorized and tormented by her husband. We find out it makes this book a great literary work to buy and to read and study. So I recommend it actually for everyone.
So as a top Nigerian diplomat in Ireland and being from your country, how do you feel?
I feel proud. I feel greatly elevated by her success, and it makes me fulfilled to see a lady of intellectual status putting her second book on display on this very successful outing. I think we are here to celebrate success, and this is what we want to be celebrating from our people, Nigerians I mean, and Africans as well.
Thank you, sir, for talking.
Thank you very much.
Good day, sir. Can you, by way of introduction, sir, tell our viewers who you are and what you think about today's occasion?
Afam bụ Eze Matthew Emeka Ezeani. Abịa m taa maka akwụkwọ nwanne anyị nwanyị Ebun Akpoveta dere. Agụgụ m akwụkwọ a fụ na akwụkwọ bara uru. Maka na ihe akwụkwọ a na-akọwa bụ ihe gbasara ezinụlọ niile. Maka ka esi emegbu ụmụ nwanyị, tụmadụ na ụmụ nwoke ndị nke na-eti nwunye ha ihe. Akwụkwọ a na-akọwa na ọ bụ ihe ọjọọ. Ọkwa na akwụkwọ ga-enyelu ụmụ nwanyị nọ na-ata afụfụ nke di ha maọbụ onye ha na ha bi na-emegbu ha ma na-etinye ha ihe. Obi dị m ụtọ taa ka anyị bịara mana na ihe gbasara di na nwunye isi okwu ma ịnụ ọgụ n'ụlọ bụ ihe na-ewute anyị n'obodo Ireland, bụrụkwa ihe ndị be anyị anaghị ekwute okwu ya mgbe ọbụla. Nya atụmatụ ka nwanne anyị nwaanyị si wepụta akwụkwọ a, ọ bụ ihe ziri ezi. Aga m asị onye ọbụla ma ịbụ nwoke ma ịbụ nwaanyị nwata akwụkwọ ga-azụrụ akwụkwọ a taa.
boeken boek me bij me dan kun je nog maar die jullie op dan papa.
Ukasaverenga bhuku iri haumbofi wakazira chakawasarira, so zvanoda kuudzai mese vekuZimbabwe tsvagarako.
Good day. What's your name? Can you tell our viewers your name and what happened here today?
Hi, Princess Nadia Dixon. Today is the book launch of Trapped, Prison Without Walls, a book that was written by Ebun Akpoveta, who is also the author of Becoming Unforgettable, the Essence of the Woman. Ebun Akpoveta's book, Ebun actually is also the founder and president of the Unforgettable Women's Network in Ireland. And I happen to be the coordinator for Galway for the network. The aim of the book is to challenge, provoke thought to gender imbalance, not necessarily domestic violence, because it's easy to think that the book is about domestic violence. Yes, there are aspects of domestic violence, injustice, name-calling, stigma, and things like that, emotional trauma that goes with being not just a woman even, perhaps a migrant woman, perhaps even an African woman, in some cases even a Nigerian woman, a black woman. There are instances, for instance, that Mr. Georges Alabi talked about, where a lady pregnant was called an African bitch or black bitch, and things like that. You know, it begins to provoke thoughts about what role do men perhaps want to assign to women. Is it the role of a substantial second citizen or somebody who is human? Because if we begin to look at, and we were talking there about the whole thing not being about, it's not just about from one culture. It's not that one culture is necessarily bad, or the Africans are bad people.
Exactly, because that's what I'm trying to point in. Is this a feminist kind of scholarly work?
Okay, when I hear feminist, my ears tweak, because a true feminist, and I would like to say that a true feminist understands the role of a man. A true feminist is comfortable being a woman. That is my own definition of feminism. And if my definition of feminism will be followed, then I will be proud to say that I am actually also a true feminist, as somebody who understands that a man and a woman are born equal, but not significantly, not the same, not in the way we think, not in the way we're composed. That is why it is not right, for instance, for a man to beat up a woman. That's why it's not right, because men are significantly more powerful physically than women are. So if you wouldn't want to say that it's a feminist book, it's just, of course, like every book, there's a protagonist, there's the hero of the book, who happens actually to be an African, maybe a Nigerian, you might say, but it's written around a woman. It could be a woman from anywhere.
Okay, just briefly, if this is your book or you've written it, can you just give us a synopsis of this book and why it is important that everyone must have a copy?
Every person should have a copy of this book, because it details, it's actually a very vivid storyline. And it's not for the faint-hearted. It actually touches on some serious issues. It touches on the issues of women's struggles to meet their feminine roles. It touches on women's struggles to perhaps maybe even satisfy their husbands or their wives, well, their husbands sexually. So it's not a book for children. You don't go out and buy a book like this and say, oh, you know, it's not a novel. It's not a bedtime novel for children. It's for adults. It touches on injustice. It touches on people, trauma, and emotional pain. Stages that a woman, mostly a woman, will go through, and then steps that you can take, things that you can do to get yourself to become a better woman, to get yourself, to educate yourself, maybe to stop from being a victim to becoming, yes, a victim, somebody who's accomplished. Today we had the former Chief Justice of Ireland, who happens to be a woman, Catherine McGuinness. We had Denise Charlton, who is also the CEO of the Immigrant Council of Ireland. We have Elaine Dunlop, who is the CEO of the rape crisis in Dublin. We had a few other people from Trinity College, professors from Trinity College, from DCU, from community arts places. We had the lady who is from domestic violence in Dublin. So it's of interest. It's a resource book that people can actually hold on to and understand the emotions that people go through. I myself am actually an emotional health counselor, therapist that helps people to get better. People who have gone through trauma, grief, emotional relationship loss of whatever sort, divorce, separation, even death causes grief that people sometimes cannot express. So I do counseling, I do healing services, spiritual healing, I do psychotherapy and sessions like that. And then I'm also a trainer, I'm an author myself, I'm a publisher of a female-focused magazine. But what I'm saying really is that women need to be able to know that you're not alone. When you buy a book like this, you can actually see yourself going through the things that you're going through at different stages. What did other people do at this time? When they were like this, what did they do? Who did they turn to? There's so many resources here in Ireland, for instance, and everywhere in the world that we can actually turn to. But what message I'm going to leave with anybody who is buying this book is, if you ever have a trauma, if you ever have an emotional upset, emotional pain, like one of my friends said, emotional trauma, emotional pain may even be the fastest killer, even before HIV/AIDS. This is true because people who grieve, it's a heart problem. You can have a heart attack and die faster than somebody suffering from AIDS. So don't talk about, don't keep it to yourself. Talk about it, find help, buy the book, see how other people are coping with it, how other women, and then join networks, talk to counselors, talk to relationship coaches and stuff like that, and be well. That's the important thing. Be well. Thank you.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Wow, this book is powerful. You need to get one. This is wonderful.
If you don't read this, you won't know what you're missing. But if you open it, it will take you to places you never knew existed. Start reading this book. I promise you, you won't be able to drop it. This is a must read, and it helps to simplify very serious issues in our lives. Thank you.
Get your own. This one are nice. Biko, Eloratinho.
Break out of prison. Get a copy.
This is Ebano. Grab one.
If you want things to change, be part of the change cycle. Be mad. Make a difference. Get one.
This is the best book for domestic violence, which will be helping the professional people who deals with the women who are being affected by domestic violence. It's the best book I've ever seen.
Grab it!